his crew outside Big Wilt's Small's paradise, and his mother almost beat the black off him, like he'd been dealing smack himself. Hell no! No child of hers was getting into that mess. He was getting up and out of the city. The day they closed on the house in Roosevelt was the day she knew she could die with a satisfied mind. But when he'd been assigned back to patrol in Harlem, he didn't fight it. A part of him had never really left the neighborhood, never believed it was right to forget where he came from. In his mind's eye, he was still that little kid keeping an eye on the block. Darryl King, the boy with the gun, didn't go straight to work. It was too early anyway. Instead, he went downtown and found some friends at the Playland video game arcade in Times Square. A couple of them wanted to catch a live Love Acts show at one of the nearby theaters, but Darryl was too distracted thinking about what he had to do tonight. He was 17, with hard, bony features, and a high, handsome forehead slowly emerging from the soft, round pie of a face he'd had as a child. To conquer his nerves, he beamed up to see Scotty in the alley behind the arcade. And when the others came out to get high with him, he lifted his coat flap and showed them what he had tucked in his belt. ".38 caliber revolver," said Darryl, "just like the police carry." A damn shame, a wife needing an order of protection against her own husband a week before Christmas. Franklin Sheffield sat in the patrol car parked outside a short brown tenement on 128th Street, missing his wife and his daughter. To need someone guarding your front door against the man you'd married. Snowflakes fell slowly, changing shades as they flitted in and out of the streetlight. They landed on the windshield and melted before his eyes. A family should be together for the holidays, he thought. He hoped he wouldn't be on call on Christmas Day, though the overtime would help pay for the gold earrings he'd picked out for Felicia at Fortunoff, and the real estate taxes going up 5% next year. And they'd already sunk half his overtime for the year into the baby's room. And now Felicia was starting to talk about doing the kitchen over. He was going to need that promotion to sergeant next year, and the raise that went with it. Darryl King and his two friends were coming up on the opposite side of the street. It was after 11 o'clock, and below 15 degrees. The only other people who were out now were the dumpster divers, the truly hardy $10-a-pop skeezers and $5-a-bottle crack slingers, and they were mostly gathered around a trash can fire around the corner, trying to stay warm. Darryl walked briskly, a couple of steps ahead of his friends. Smoke streamed out of his mouth, and the gun rode high in the waistband under his coat. The police car was only half a block away now, just out of range of the streetlight. "You're not gonna do it," the bigger of Darryl's two friends, Bobby Housekirk, taunted him. "You ain't got the heart." "Watch me," Darryl King said. The car's heater was starting to make Franklin feel sick to his stomach and sweaty, so he turned it down a little and put his hat on. There was a light rap on the window, and he looked up. A skinny young kid with a flat-top hairdo and a hair lip was staring at him and saying something. Franklin rolled down the window to hear him. "Yo," the kid said. "What's up?" Franklin gave him his hard-ass face, the one that in his mind made him look like Fred the Hammer Williamson in Black Caesar. Meanwhile, Darryl and Bobby Kirk were sneaking around to the other side of the car. Bones throbbing deep inside his skull, Darryl steadied himself against the doorframe. Then he lifted his shirt to pull the gun out of his waistband. Just as he started to get a grip on the handle, though, the cop turned and looked straight at him, and for a second he could have sworn the brother didn't look angry or surprised, but almost disappointed. Darryl yanked hard on the gun, but it stayed stuck in his waistband, pulling the crotch seam of his jeans up into the nether region between his balls and ass. Everything seemed to slow down, like a frame-by-frame video crawl. The cop fumbling for his own gun. Aaron's eyes wide-walling as he mouthed, "Oh, shit!" in an underwater voice. Bobby flailing wildly at his shoulder and trying to take the gat from him so he could do the job right. The .38 finally jerked free, and Darryl extended his arm. He saw the cop's eyes focus on the hole, ready for the muzzle flash, and each time he pulled the trigger, the police car lit up like a furnace in the snow. Later on that night, Darryl told his family what happened while they sat around chilling out on weed and the Yule log on TV.